Hello students, my name is Priscella Ghimiray, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, and today we will be learning about a very important topic, that is socialization. The contents for today's class has been categorized in three main topics that we will be exploring: the meaning of socialization, process of socialization, and factors of socialization. Talking about the meaning of socialization, socialization is a lifelong process through which individuals learn and internalize the values, beliefs, norms, customs, roles, and behaviors that are necessary for effective participation in the society. It is the way by which people acquire their social identity and develop the skills necessary to interact with others. Through socialization, a person becomes aware of social expectations and learn how to function as a member of the community. For example, children learn to say please and thank you as part of polite behavior because their family and culture teach these norms. Moving on to the definitions of socialization, according to C.H. Coley, a process through which individuals develop his own self by learning norm is called socialization. According to McAvear, socialization is the process through which social beings develop relationships and associations with each other. Learning about the process of socialization. The process of socialization is not confined to childhood, but it continues through the various stages of a lifelong courses. And as such, socialization is categorized in four processes. So we will be exploring one by one the processes. The number one process is infancy and childhood, which is also known as the oral, anal, and latency. In this period, it is a distinct stage of life which starts from birth to the onset of adolescence. That is a period beginning from 0 to 13 to 14 years of age. In the first year, the child contacts with the outside world through the help of his or mother. The mother is the first person who begins the process of socialization in a child. It is from her the child learns the social interaction through imitation. In the second year, the child learns how to eat their food and talk in a polite way. The child develops a sense of control over himself, herself, and to his her environment, although the child is still dependent on his or parents. She starts recognizing the family relations. The first 3 years to 5 years is known as the phallic stage, are a period of rapid physical change. At this stage, the child learns to behave himself, herself in various activities, particularly while interacting with others and the adults. Then comes the latency stage, which continues nearly about 5 years to 13 years. By about 5 years, the child becomes almost a dependent individual, no longer is a baby, the child is developed and the child moves on with his or her peers. Now, the second stage is the adolescent stage, which is the important stage as it is marked by puberty. It is a most important stage because socialization, which begins about 14 to 5 years, continues to the year of 20 to 21. It is a transactional stage from childhood to maturity, during which new patterns of behavior are developed to meet the demands of the peer pressure and of the adult society. During this period, the individual is most attracted towards the opposite sex. She feels interested in recreation, films, TV, sports, etc. The third phase is known as the adulthood. Adulthood is considered to be attained when a person can support himself or herself entirely. It is a period of great stress and strain. During this period, one has to take many life decisions about the choice of marriage partners, about the choice of occupation, etc. It is a very critical stage of life. At this stage, the individual marries and starts working for livelihood. As a result, the individual has to assume many new roles and positions. The individual has to learn new habits, ideals, customs, and notions to adjust with the spouse and his or her family. In due course of events, children may be born and the individual is faced with the new situation and necessary of new adjustment, that is being a parent. The fourth stage and the final stage is known as the old age. This is the final period of transition which occurs mostly between 60 to 65. At this time, many people begin restricting their occupational duties In preparing for retirement, with advanced age, the mind and the body seems to lose its agility, habits as well as veins harden and refuse the strain of new demands. Those persons who succeed in adjusting to these new demands, physical, mental, and social, both lead a pleasant life even in the old age. In such individuals, socialization may continue actively through the end of the life. Now we will be moving on to the last topic, that is factors of socialization. Talking about the factors of socialization, socialization involves several important factors, and we will be dealing with five important factors today. The number one is family. Children learn their language and develop their speaking abilities in the family. Socialization, regional and class differences of the family into which one is born affects the socialization patterns in different ways, as a result of which children from different cultural backgrounds grow up with different values, attitudes, and beliefs. The situation within the family, whether affectionate or disturbed, will affect the growth of a child accordingly. The next important point is peer group. Peer groups usually consist of friends who are of the same age. They share a mutual sense of understanding and cooperation with each other and also consider each of them as equals. Initially, peer groups are formed in the neighborhood or the housing community where the children live. While children are young, they usually begin by making friends with children of same gender. As a result, peer groups exert a significant influence on gender socialization. Once children enter the school, their peer group becomes diverse. Children who become part of peer groups are usually seen spending more time with their friends than with family members. The influence of peer group continues throughout life, from the neighborhood to education to institution to workplace and so on. The third point is the very important point, the school. The school is known to be the first formal agent of socialization, which shapes the ideals and attitudes of a child. The child learns to maintain certain decorum in the class. They learn to obey rules of discipline in the schools and be diligent in learning the lessons that are taught in the class. The children are expected to listen to their teachers and accept their authority. At times, teachers' reactions also have positive and negative implication on the children. The school is not only responsible for formally training the child in reading, writing, and arithmetic, but it is also helps to develop critical thinking abilities. Broadly speaking, the school helps in the overall development of the child and in the diffusion of culture of the society. The role of the teacher becomes very important within such a setting. The fourth point is also one of the important points, which is religion. Religion binds people in a set of belief and practices. It shapes the collective identity of people by determining customs, rituals, language, dress, beliefs, and so on. It also teaches differences, similarities, feeling of us and them. We are moving on to the last important point, that is mass media, and one of the important factors of socialization. Mass media is a vehicle for spreading information on a massive scale and reaching to a vast audience. It shapes dislikes, likes, interests, and contacts. Mass media is communication through print and satellite, like television, newspapers, films, etc. It has a significant impact on the lives of the people. Especially, television has made an important difference in our children. It gives random factual information about our people and culture. Television gives important information about norms and values. The vocabulary of the child enhances. The children have wide range of programs to watch, such as educational, entertainment programs, and so on. So with this, we move on to the conclusion of today's topic, that is socialization. From discussing all the points, we can know that socialization is a lifelong process that shapes individuals into active and responsible members of the society by teaching them the norms, values, skills needed for social lives. So therefore, we should understand that socialization is not merely a topic to be learned. The theory that we have learned, we naturally and practically we explore it in the real life. So with this particular topic, we can actually prioritize our theory to the practical. I hope so today's session was useful and important. Thank you so much.